My name is Madiha and I am from g10. Today I am going to present a seminar on subject social studies, lesson number 16, election process in India. First of all, what are elections? Election is a process through which we choose a representative. Election is a democratic process through which we choose our representatives. In simple words, election is choosing the representatives to vote. So election is nothing but it is a democratic process through which people choose the representative. And how people choose the representatives? People choose the representatives by voting. And why do we need elections in our country, India? As we know, India is a vast country. All the people of the country cannot gather at one place and make decisions together because India is having highest population density, right? So it cannot get at the one place and all people can together make the decisions. That's why elections are arised. And so why are elections held? So elections are held to change the representatives, to change the government and to run the government peacefully and to express their political preferences. For a good election, how a good election should be held, it should be fair, it should be fair, it should be good. free plus fair plus regular plus inclusive. For example, suppose we are electing a class NLA. So we elect one person and see how he or she behaves, how the representative is acting, how he's doing his work, how he's taking care of his class, how is he doing the work on time or not, checking the things on the time or not. If he is not doing the work on the time, so then we can elect the next member in the next elections, right? So likewise, it is done in elections. We change the representatives, those who are not working properly, and those who are not checking whether the people are following the rules or not. And we also, to change the government peacefully, if only one person is running the government, only one political party, then we all have to follow it, right? So it should be like elections have to be done. And to express their political preferences, like what they actually mean, what are their goals for the country, what they actually want for a developing country. That's what we need to get it. And the representatives to whom they are electing and we elect the representatives who make the decisions and laws on our behalf. Because we also, as we know, India is a vast and enormous country. We cannot together in a country. All the people of the one country cannot come at a one place and make all the decisions, right? So that's why elections are held, and that's why we conduct elections in our country, and we through elections we elect or choose the representatives to make laws and decisions on our behalf. The next, election system in India. So what is election system in India? Election The election system in India came into an existence in 25th January in 1950, the year 1950, and they conduct elections in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and the state legislative elections in Lok Sabha and Rajya and state legislative. Election system in India. The election system in India came into an existence in the year 1950 on 25th January. Election Commission of India is nothing but ECI. It is the organization which conducts the elections in the whole country at the central level and at the state level. And it was this Election Commission of India, this ECI, this organization was formed in the year 1950 on 25th of January, and it conducts the elections in both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha and in state legislative bodies. SLA is nothing but state legislative bodies. And ECI. Now we are going to learn about the ECI, Election Commission of India. In this organization, how many people are there and how they are conducting the elections in India. So ECI. So in ECI, Election Commission of India, so Election Commission of India ECI consists of three members. The one is India Chief Commissioner, he will be the head, and other two will be the election commissioner. And these three members together will conduct the election process in India. And for these three people also the tenure will be of 6 years up to 65. They can whether be up to 6 years or up to 65 years of the age, the retirement. And these three members qualification must be they must be an IAS officers, and at the time whenever they are trying to make any decision. So out of three, any two should at least agree for that decision so they can take the decision in the correct way. If one is agreeing, one is not agreeing, and one is not satisfied with the decision, then by this they cannot implement or form any law in the country. Likewise, if we are in a group and the lead asks us anything like we are making a decision right now, and we are just telling maybe yes or no. So by this statement we cannot form any law or we cannot make any decision to it. Likewise happens in election commission of India. At least one three out of two people should agree for making any rules of law in the country. First is election commission. He will be the head. The other two will be election commissioners. As we have now discussed that in election commission of India, it consists of three members. The India Chief Commissioner, he will be the head, and the other two will be the election commissioners. And their qualification must be they must be IAS officers, and their tenure is up to 6 years or up to 65 years. If the president is satisfied with the work of the India Chief Commissioner of the IAS officer, so he can by the president can elect that person for this particular post because of seeing the work, how he is working for the country, how if he is whether properly checking or not, how he is conducting the elections, if he is working in a proper manner, doing all the work on a time, having an eye on all the people. So by that the president can again elect that particular member for this particular post, the ECI. And in 1988, the age for the voting age was decided at 18 years. Before 1988, it was decided at 21 years for the voting age. And but it was 21. But the state government needs the full president to grant its own law and own rules in the country, right? And in 1988, voting age was decided. Voting age was decided and it was 18 years. And early it was 21 years. Early the voting age was 20. how we also share our ideas together, right? Like that only language is developed. So political parties, we together share our goals and ideas and knows what we are going to do next for the country. And we must have it in the code of conduct. Code of conduct is nothing but rules and regulations which are given by the ECI. It must be followed during the elections. The ECI have given the code of conduct to all the political parties, like the rules and issues and the security, like the safety measures, like what they have to do during the election, what are the do's and don'ts. The ECI does not give the political parties permission to take out the for example, I'm saying this for example. See, for example, ECI have given the one rule to political parties that they cannot take out the rallies in the residential areas and. If they are using anything, if they are calling the people for the meeting, they have to inform the local police. Then the local police will ask the ECI, the Election Commission of India, and the grant permission to the political parties to conduct a particular meeting for the people and the laws. And if they are using loudspeakers, also they have to take the permission of the local police. And they cannot paste any poster of any residential area or any wall of the buildings. There are no rules, but now we will start with the topic. And so yeah, code of conduct. So as I said that the ECI Election Commission of India have given code of conduct. They have issued some rules and regulations for each political party, and it must be followed during the elections. Code of conduct means nothing but the rules and regulations. An Election Commission of India allots a symbol to all the political parties. Like all the political parties cannot make their own symbol after being elected because ECI once only for the one time ECI Election Commission of India provides and allots a symbol to the political party. And now we are going to discuss about the regional party and the national party. So if a political party is getting 3% of the valid vote and three assembly seats, it is getting 3 assembly seats in a state assembly with 3% of valid vote, then it is recognized. It is called as a regional party. Politically, it is getting 3% of valid votes or 3 assembly seats. Then it is called as regional party. So, regional party is nothing but in the simple words, if they are getting 3% of valid votes and they are getting 3 assembly seats in a particular one state, then it is called as a regional party. And national party is nothing but if a party is recognized more than one place, if a party is standing more than one place, like it is standing from 2 states like Mumbai and Telangana. So and they, at that time they were getting 6% of valid votes and plus 6 assembly seats. So at that time they are called as national party. So national party is nothing but if they are getting 6% of the votes and 6 seats and they must be recognized more than 4 states. If they are standing from more than 4 states and if they are getting 6% of valid votes and 6 assembly seats, then they are called as a national party. In regional party, nothing but 3% they will get 3% of valid votes or 3 assembly seats. So they are known as a regional party. In one state, it's having only one state, but in national party, they are getting 6% of valid votes, the 6 assembly seats, and they are standing for more than one state, like they are standing in 4 states. So it is called as national party. However, 3 states is equals to regional development. 6 is equals to, so we can cover it like this: 3% is equals to regional party and 6% is equals to national party. So the and as we have discussed that in 1988 voting age was decided it was 18 years and only it was 21 years. And now we are going to learn, and there is one more thing also. On 25th January, as you can see that on 25th January 1950, Election Commission of India ECI was formed in 1950. Then on 2010, in the year 2010, in the year 2010, on 25th January, on 25th January in the year 2010, the 60 years of ECI was completed. So in the year 2011, the ECI Election Commission of India formed a day means they declared 25th January as the Voters' Day because they were the 60 years was completed in 2010, so they declared at then the next year of the 25th January as the Voters' Day because they were successful in making the elections and running means having the elections in our country and they were successful and they were happy like how the people are following the step procedure in India. That's why in 2010, after the completion of 60 years, in the next year 2011, they declared the 25th January as the Voters' Day in India. And Voters' Day is nothing but how we have the early days, Mother's Day, Father's Day, like that we have Voters' Day also. And it is declared why we are celebrating Voters' Day. It is because the for ECI have been successful in making all the rules and all the laws for the political parties, and they are happy to see that how people are following the procedure in India for the elections. So this is the procedure. And the first general elections were held in 1952, and at that time the literacy rate was only 12%. The first general election. And yes, the first general election was held in 1952 with 12% of literacy rate. At that time, it means that at that time the literacy rate was only 12% because of the British rule in India. The people were not that much educated and they did not know to whom they have to give the vote, right? Because they were not having any knowledge of any particular political party of the constitution, what are the rules and the laws. So they did not know to whom they have to give the laws. The one who were well educated, that people have elected and given their votes the correct party because the people those who are not literate, those who are not educated, they don't know the constitutional laws and what are the goods and what are the bads for a country, for a developing country actually. So it was a big problem faced by the ECI at that time in 1952 as the first general elections were held, because at that time people were not knowing that to whom they have to give their vote, to the correct party, because they were not educated. They did not know how should a political party be formed and what procedure they have to follow. What are the good things for a political party and what things have to be there. At that time, during elections, at ECI, at that time, 17.22 crores of voters were present, and now the total voters are 98.4 crores. At that time, in 2000, in the year 1950, in the year 1952, the population of the voters was 70.3 crores, and now at the present it is 98.40 crores. And from this population, in 1952, this population was having only 12% of literacy rate. As the first elections were held in 1952, this was the population of the voters. It was 70.50 crores, and from this only 12%, only few of the people were educated, and 12% literacy rate was only there. As at that time British rule was going on, completed in India, and people were trying to get educated. At that time several elections were held. At that time East Side faced a huge problem because the people were not having that much knowledge and that much knowledge, and they were not known to the constitution laws, and they did not knew to who is the right political party and what should be the do and don'ts for political party for getting the votes. So now at present, the population of the voter is 98.4 crores, and the voters population has increased because the Indian population also increases year to year. And ECI, do you know one thing about ECI? One day before the elections, for example, tomorrow are the elections. So today the 45 lakhs of the people, the 45, all the staff of police officers, all the government officers will go and they will give the vote, because the next day they have to look up about 98.4 crore of people of the population of India. Like there have to be a procedure that should be followed safely, right? So this 45 lakhs of people, this all the officers will go and give their vote. At earlier time, it was a postal ballot. At the earlier time, it was a postal ballot through which these officers, they used to be a postman who used to have one slip and a one box. So in that slip, they used to get one pen and a paper to that officers, like to whom they want to vote, to which political party they want to vote, and the officer used to take that slip and they used to write the political party to whom they are supporting, and they used to put that slip in a box. And nowadays it is done digitally. At that time, postal ballot was used for the officers. The postman will go each and every officer's home and it will take that slip and it will keep. And it is done before the one day of elections. And in Article 324, ECI states that the voting must be done without any discrimination, and political equality should be. So in Article 324 is the Constitutional Assembly also have state that the ECI also state that in the law that voting must be done without any discrimination and it should be conducted, elections should be conducted in a proper manner. For example, the political equality should be there. Like in political elections, in political party, the rich and poor have the same value of their vote. The men and women also have the same value of their vote. No one is up or down. In political equality, the value of the rich and poor votes are same, and as well as the women and men. There is no discrimination between the gender, between the caste, or between the upper caste or lower caste. There will be a political equality. They all will have same values. No one will be discriminated in political party because they have same equal. And they states that for political equality should be maintained and no one should be up or no one should be below. They all should have same values. So as we have just now said, men and women will have same value and the rich and poor will also have the same vote value in political equality. So this is called political equality. Nothing but the votes of the rich and poor and the men and women will have the same value. They will not be discriminated or no one will be up or no one will be down. And this Election Commission of India supervises the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly. It supervises Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, it is nothing but state legislative assembly and there are more parties which are elected. So I will give you a short recap from the starting. As we have discussed, what are elections? Election is a process. It is a democratic process through which we elect our representatives. And why elections are held? To run our government peacefully. And we elect. Why do we elect our representatives? We elect our representatives to make the laws and decisions on our behalf. That's why they are elected. Because as you know, India is a vast and enormous country. All the people of the India, of people of one country, for India, cannot together as a one place and they cannot make decisions together, right? That's why they elect the representatives to make the decisions on their behalf. And as we have discussed, the Election Commission of India, I have three members. First is the Election Commission, the second Election Commission is of India. Then the qualification must be IAS officers and then 10 years, 6 years or up to 65 years. The president can again choose that particular person for the post. If the person is doing a good work, he has for elections, like that. And as we know that Election Commission of India, ECI was formed on 25th of January in the year 1950. After independence, after the 2 years of independence, ECI was formed in 1980 25th January. Okay, and it conducts the elections at the central level and at the state level. And in 1988, it was the voting age was decided. It was as it was 21 years, they changed up to 18 years. So guys, this is